Hey guys, Mr. Kruger working on geometry, trail marker number 1 review. So I'm going to take some time to work through the 10 questions here. You can watch this over and over and over again. Ask any questions you have if you still have them after watching. Just come find me. Okay, so first question, point B is between A and C. So because it says point B is between A and C, we know it must be a segment. So I really suggest drawing a picture. So I got a segment here where I have point B somewhere between A and C. And then from there I'm going to solve for x, and my answer is in terms of x, using what's given to me. So I know that the length from A to B is x minus 5. I know the length from B to C is 3, and then open parentheses x plus 1. And I also know that AC, the whole thing right here, is 25. So I have the two parts and I have the whole thing. So what I can do is I can add the two parts together and then set that equal to the whole thing. So I can add these two and set them equal to this whole thing right here. So I get x minus 5 plus 3 open parentheses x plus 1 equals 25. Now if I see parentheses and a number outside with multiplication, I have to distribute the 3. So I get x minus 5 plus 3x plus 3, because I have to distribute both the x and the 3, and the 1, which gives me 3, equal 25. Now I'm going to combine like terms. X plus 3x is 4x. Negative 5 plus 3 is a negative 2 equals 25. Add 2 to both sides, so I get 4x equals 27. And then divide by 4, and I do get a fraction, 27 over 4. Okay, find the midpoint of AB when A equals negative 3, comma 1, and B equals 2, comma 3. So the midpoint formula is x plus x, negative 3 plus 2, divided by 2 equals xm, and y plus y, so 1 plus 3 divided by 2 equals ym. Combining like terms, the numerator, negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1 over 2, which is xm, and 1 plus 3 over 2, which is 4 over 2 equals ym. So my final answer is going to be a coordinate. Negative 1/2 cannot be simplified, and 4 divided by 2 can simplify to 2. So negative 1/2, comma 2. Multiply, so I need to distribute. So I get 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times negative 5 is negative 10x. 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. Now all I can do is combine like terms. These interior terms are here. Negative 10x plus 4x are my only like terms. So I'm left with 2x squared minus 6x minus 20. Given that AB bisects, that means it cuts into two congruent parts, so that this angle, DAB, is congruent to BAC. So now I can set them equal because they're congruent. So 3 times x plus 1 equals x plus 13. I have to distribute the 3 to both the x and the 1, so I get 3x plus 3 equals x plus 13. Now I need to move the variables to one side, constants to the other. So I'm going to bring my x's to the left, so I get 2x plus 3 equals 13. And I'm going to move my variables my constants to the right, so I get 2x equals 10. Divide by 2, and I get x equals 5. Use a protractor to measure the following angles. Well, I know if I take out my protractor, I'm going to get anywhere between 70 degrees and 80 degrees. Let's go up to question number 6. If one angle is 47, find the measure of the complement and the supplement. Well, the complement means they add up to 90 degrees, and the supplement means they add up to 180. So for the supplement, I can take 180 minus 47, and then I get 133. And for the complement, I can take 90 minus 47, and I get 43. So we're trying to figure out what adds to 90 with 47 and what adds to 180 with 47. Number 7, solve for x. So if I take a look at the picture, a lot of people that I've seen have set them equal to each other. But if I look at this angle on the left, it is clearly obtuse, and the angle on the right is clearly acute. So they cannot be equal. But what they do make is a straight angle, which is 180 degrees. So what I can do is I can add them up and set them equal to 180. And then I just combine like terms. So I get 5x plus 5 equals 180. Subtract 5 from both sides and I get 180. Or sorry, yeah, subtract 5 so I get 175. Divide by 5. Well, if I divide both sides by 5, I'm going to get 35. So x equals 35. Write the equation of the line with a slope, which is always going to be m, passing through the point negative 6, negative 2. Well, negative 6 is an x value, negative 2 is a y value. So what I can do here is I can plug those values into y equals mx plus b. So I have y equals mx plus b, but I have 3 of the 4 variables here. Negative 2 is my y, 1/3 is my x, or my m, negative 6 is my x, and I don't know the b. So this is what I have to solve for right here. So let's solve for it. Negative 2 equals 1/3 of negative 6 is negative 2. Okay. If I add 2 to both sides, I get 0 equals b. Okay, so what that means, I have a slope still up here of 1/3 and a y-intercept of 0. And my equation equals 1/3 x plus 0, or just 1/3 x. Graph negative 2/3 x plus 1. Well, I always start with the y-intercept on the y-axis, then I plot a point right there. And then I apply this slope, negative 2 over 3. So negative 2 in the numerator is the rise, because it's negative we go down. And the denominator is 3, it's positive we go to the right. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, to the right 1, 2, 3. Plot that point. Down 1, 2, to the right 1, 2, 3. And I always start from that y-intercept and then follow the pattern over and over again. Last one, solve the following for x by factoring or using the quadratic formula. Factoring is always going to be a little easier if it is factorable. Okay? So the way we think of how to factor is, I find two numbers that multiply to c, in this case, which is 8, and add to b, which is 6. So two numbers that do that are 4 and 2. So the way I can factor x squared plus 6x plus 8 is x plus 4, x plus 2 equals 0. And then I can set both factors equal to 0. And I'll solve. So I get negative 4 on the left and negative 2 on the right equation. And my two solutions are negative 4, negative 2. Okay, good luck, guys.